Welcome into Rogue Trader, where we meet the Govna of Footfall and determine what it is that he wishes to speak on. So last time we've met some interesting individuals on Footfall, had some interesting circumstances, and moved on from there. There it goes. I was like, come on, come on. You know you want to work.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantine on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak.
I don't remember that
Quarantine
one.
breakers will be executed on site.
Oh yeah, that was the other good one we got. That gives the boost. As long as the agility's high, and she had the highest agility. I remember now. I just had forgotten. No, there's so much stuff I need to know, decide what to scrap, but not sure which ones we need to do what with. I guess we'll leave it for now. I might need to go and run back to our ship before going in here, so we're going to save quickly. And we might need to load, because we had that debuff going on.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space. My patience. You remember the way out. Dismissed.
The tall man in austere grey clothes makes a show of looking past the woman he's addressing.
Viladame, 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 what does he put such harsh words into your mouth? You talk like you're an imperial clerk, not one of us.
The woman, who is standing with her back to you, lets out an ostentatious sigh, then her tone changes dramatically.
Where's my cargo, Viladame? Falco has it, doesn't he? So that's how you do business with your old friends these days?
Interesting.
So you don't remember. Then the help will remind you. Guards, escort her out.
Hatery, move.
The massive guard leans down to the woman and says in a lowered voice,
Jay, get going while he's letting you. Go drown your sorrows at the Amasekis and thank your lucky stars you were able to walk out the door. You won't get the chance next time. First an insult, and now threats? I see courtesy and tact are no longer a valued commodity on Footfall. Oh well, I'll find myself a better deal.
She turns on her heel and heads toward the exit. As she passes you by, she gives you a quick once-over, winks at you, then immediately turns away with a flip of her jet black hair.
Does she want to join us?
The tall man, who has long since noticed your presence, is studying you intently.
Viladain Tokara, Liege of Footfall. Let us please proceed to my office. A spread befitting a visitor of your rank is waiting. Your entourage will be accommodated nearby.
Certainly, we may go.
Please follow me.
Was debating there. And welcome in, Matt.
While
I
you are
appreciate
engaged
it.
in small talk, you get a chance to take the measure of Liege Takara. His expression is aloof and focused, his gestures curt and firm, and his speech calm and quiet, as though he is used to people always listening to what he says. Judging by his observant gaze, he has been studying you in turn this whole time.
I believed your sound alert worked, Matt. Oh, it has an update, so maybe it didn't. I will give you a bonus one just in case it didn't. That is odd. It should have. Aw, man, I'm sorry. That did not seem like it played. No, it's not. That worked. Yeah, it's not working. That is odd. Why did it quit working? It was working fine. So the connection somewhere broke down. Those are connected. Oh, bother. Where is that? Sorry, everyone. This has been working the whole time, and just now decides it doesn't want to work. Ah, so they stopped being logged in. Ugh. That one's still logged in fine. That one is not. Give me a moment while I deal with this, if you do not mind. Trying to get it all set, because I'd like it to work. I like having our sound alerts and everything. But for some reason it disconnected. So I am resolving that right now. And we will continue the game right after that. It's been working for quite a few months now, and this is the first time I've had a problem with it. And of course, I don't notice it until we're live, because, you know, makes life more fun, huh? Where is that info? There we go. And I gotta get this pulled up. We need to make sure it's you. Yes, 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 I know. It is me. Where did the app go for the authenticator? Here we go. And now I can authorize that part to work. And now we should be good in theory. All right. So it says it's connected up. Now we just need to test it and see if it's connected up. And Matt, I do hope you get feeling better soon, man. It works. All right. There we go. Thanks for your patience as we quickly resolve that.
Vladane straightens in his chair and says in a polite but completely indifferent tone,
Let's talk business. On behalf of the elite of Footfall Station, I offer you my condolences, Lord von Valancius. We mourn Lady Theodora's loss and we hope this sentiment is taken as a sign of our good intentions and willingness to cooperate.
Thank you, Liege. A terrible loss for everyone.
I hope that under your guidance, the dynasty can recover from this blow and attain even greater power. I am impressed by your prudence. Your decision to arrive on Footfall incognito without announcing either the death of the previous rogue trader or your own status, it was quite wise. The rumors will spread sooner or later. It's impossible to keep secret something that's known to the thousands of people serving on a void ship. But for now, you are free to reap the benefits of anonymity. As you may have noticed, Footfall is currently in a state of crisis. Its people would benefit from the patronage of a figure such as yourself.
You mean like being attacked right on the docks?
An outrageous stunt, a show of disrespect for both you and me. Sadly, such incidents on Footfall are akin to natural disasters, impossible to predict or preempt, they simply happen.
No, they don't.
Many consider
failed.
Footfall to be a pirate den, but believe me when I say that there is a difference between organized crime and gangs of thugs who have nothing to lose. You were attacked by the latter. The Enver are a gang of punks who spit on our customs and hierarchy. Even their leader is more akin to an ideologue, a rabble-rouser who calls for people's heads. Not a commander. Sooner or later, we will find him and have him strung up. That will likely cool his followers' enthusiasm.
I could string you up. I'm sure that would curb your followers too, wouldn't it?
Behind the carefully built facade of composure, you sense anger. It appears that this man is not used to losing control. But that is exactly what is happening.
Not surprised. I'm tempted. I'm sorry for the loss of your assistant.
What?
Your words seem to perplex him for a moment, but his face remains cold.
Oh, that. Yes, her death was a regrettable development.
And who was the woman you had thrown out?
Vladame's expression hardens, and he makes a frustrated gesture.
A dead woman walking. Some, however, still call her Jay Hatery. A small-time hustler with big ambitions that will lead her to a sticky end.
It's strange. A small-time hustler, even a particularly audacious one, wouldn't likely quarrel in public with a figure as important as the Liege of Footfall. What seems stranger still is that the Liege knows this small fry by name.
She is irrelevant. Since I'm the one in control of the situation on Footfall, I can speak on behalf of all of its noteworthy residents.
What is the situation in the region?
Troubling. Xenos raids are growing more frequent, trade is suffering, and fringe worlds are going under. Rumors of atrocities being committed by enemies of humanity are causing excessive panic due to their exotic nature. The core of the Imperium forces in the Coronis Expanse has departed for the sector's borders to combat the Xenos threat. There has been no word from them for a while now. Then again, with the distance and the current issues with astropaths, that is not entirely out of the ordinary. Still, we are not yet alone. From several of the worlds hit by Xenos attacks, we've received reports of fierce warriors who descended from the sky and entered the fray. The fragmentary accounts lead me to believe that the blessed Adeptus Asteroids are operating in the Coronis expanse, and I await news of their victories with great anticipation.
And have there been any Xenos attacks on Footfall?
No, there haven't. Attacking Footfall in general is not a particularly reasonable thing to do. Many ships are docked here at any given time, and even the listed weapons on board them would make for a decent fighting force. And that's not even to mention the firepower that our esteemed merchants have shamefully hidden from the station's customs officials. For us here, Xenos are more of a source of income than a threat.
Vladane freezes, gauging your reaction.
You should consider your words more carefully. An admission like that sounds dangerously close to heresy, Vadame.
I hear you. You must have misunderstood. What I meant was, loyal servants of the Emperor often trade their spoils here on Footfall, including those claimed in battles with otherworldly beasts. Any other forms of interaction with Xenos are, of course, persecuted without mercy. Protection. Not military protection, but a different kind of security. You have, of course, already encountered difficulties with warp navigation on your way here. I'm afraid the scope of these difficulties extends far beyond this area. Reports of disrupted routes and ships vanishing during short jumps are coming in from across the entire sector. Communication with the Calixa sector has been extremely unstable. Of the ships that have dived into the Maw in recent years, none have yet returned. The last ship that came through the Maw from the other side was struck by a temporal anomaly. The jump took almost 2 decades in real space-time.
Is this game one that you're interested in? Because it is on sale. Okay, that's fine. I wanted to offer since it was on sale. You'd mentioned you weren't certain if it was your thing or not. So I figured I would ask. To see.
You have heard of periods of warp instability, including cases where the Maw would become completely inaccessible for navigation for years on end, thus temporarily cutting off the Coronis expanse from the Imperium. Even so, Vladane's words are particularly alarming. It seems that something has had a profound effect on the Maw.
And this brings us to our main issue. Footfall is a repair shipyard and a trading post. We barely produce anything ourselves and are largely dependent on incoming shipments. Especially food shipments. The station, naturally, has some reserves, but the supply issues didn't start yesterday. Footfall would be obliged if House von Valancius would assist us by signing a contract for food deliveries.
And that can't be the only one you've asked for help.
Naturally, I tried contacting other rogue traders. But the terms of House Gorda would have bled Footfall dry, and as for the esteemed Coligo's Winterscale, instead of a food shipment from him, I received a transport, the Nea Yakat, packed with refugees. I had to send them off to Falstone, so many extra mouths to feed would have only worsened the crisis further. I suppose all these warp fluctuations must have created more pressing concerns for Lord Winterscale. And so I put my faith in you, the third and last of Footfall's allies.
So you're cut off from your shipment, the local gangs are running wild, and the local hustlers are throwing tantrums in your residence. Are you sure you're in control of the situation?
Vladane listens with a stony expression.
You are very perceptive. Well, now you know what you're buying. The situation is difficult, but should you decide to offer your support, you'll forget about the existence of trading hubs other than Footfall. Because you won't have more loyal friends anywhere else.
And what are the terms of the deal that you're proposing?
It's simple. Delivery of food shipments from your fertile worlds. Janus, I imagine, I'm quite familiar with that jewel of the von Valancius Protectorate, in exchange for fair payment.
It's not a bad one. Number one, get on your knees and ask. Then I will help. Wow, talk about flex. It isn't. However, those I've played with make it be more of one. I have purposely steered away from that some, but also trying to be diplomatic. I'm sure you've noticed certain individuals tend to want to min-max or, seek the most powerful option. Not necessarily the most flavorful or RP-based option. And the stats are actually fairly important. Oh yeah, no, I get that. That was me being nice to them and diplomatic. Because they cared about that. So just like in Crusader Kings, right? We talked about different things that we cared about when we were playing. In this, I'll talk with him about what they're being concerned with. Oh, give me just a moment. Yeah, I get that. You're good. It's the same thing could have been said about Kingmaker, right? Actually, you do send the rogue to pick the locks in this. I see what you're saying on that. Yeah. It does allow that some, and it doesn't in other circumstances. It depends on the circumstance in the game whether they allow that. Just trying to get one quick thing here taken care of. Oh, it's all good, Matt. Did you ever play the Kingmaker video game? I had already done that crazy device. Now my phone's telling me I have to sign into things that I was already signed into. Apparently it's the day of re-sign in to what you're signed in on. All right. Let's see. Yes, but the system killed me when you have to pick the very specific things to have a chance to succeed. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. A lot of video games have something like that. But it's fair. I personally have seen less of that on here than some others. Yeah, I get you there. I'm really tempted to do that. Very well.
Vladane takes a quick sip from his glass.
I am immensely obliged, your lordship. I assume you are going to need time to get the shipments up and running. I can wait. On my end, I promise you complete cooperation with your endeavors.
Tell me about these Avengers gang and what they're doing, and why haven't they been dealt with yet?
He grits his teeth slightly before answering.
I've been using all my resources to delay the moment when the station is hit by famine. I haven't gotten around to the Anver yet. As detrimental as they are, they're no players. When their leader dies, the rest will scatter.
Understand, Matt. I hope you get feeling better. Tell me about Footfall.
Rest assured, I will be candid. My lips are bound by the oath of service. What exactly interests you on Footfall, this abode of merchants, xenotech traders, and, only a few, bandits?
What oaths are you referring to?
There is a certain custom on Footfall. Any rogue trader who arrives at the station and docks is considered to be its absolute ruler. And the liege their loyal servant. That makes me your servant.
Vladame's arrogant bearing contradicts his words.
However, as long as you remain incognito, it will be difficult for you to use this privilege. Keep this in mind if you wish to communicate with the less knowledgeable inhabitants of the station. For them you are an ordinary visitor to Footfall.
Ooh, tempting. I don't plan on abusing my right. Yet.
And I, in turn, will remember your gracious attitude. And I'll remember it when the esteemed Collego's Winterscale returns to discover that Footfall is no longer under his patronage. He will be displeased upon finding his domain encroached upon and will try to take it back. And Collego's Winterscale's displeasure is a very, very hazardous phenomenon. A fight between two rogue traders will ensue, and, as ridiculous as it may sound, its outcome will most likely depend on the allegiance of the station's humble liege.
Something tells me you used to be a bit of a bandit yourself.
You aren't wrong. My path was long and bloody, but in the end I rose from running a gang that had staked its claim to a treatment filter station to becoming the Liege of Footfall. Many died to make this possible. And those who survived figured it would be more convenient to put me at the head than continue the slaughter of the turf war. I can only hope that my elevation and the peace that came with it have done the station good.
Much has become clear.
There can be no misunderstanding between us, your lordship.
Other questions?
I'm glad to have satisfied your curiosity.
What if one makes some trade deals here?
Here. I am the main dealer on the station, and it would be disrespectful of me to suggest that you take your business to Footfall traders of lesser importance. Still, you might take an interest in a few people of note, for example, Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso. This servant of the ecclesiarchy is rumored to purchase sacred relics from captains, and other traders don't seem keen on becoming his competitors. If you're looking for goods that can entertain you, find Octaviana at the establishment called the Adeptus Amicus. The chemical bliss that she offers is refined and possesses a satisfactory degree of purity. Just don't ask her to pour you her signature drink. It's meant for common Footfall rabble, not discerning clientele.
Let's see what you have to trade, please.
I am at your service. You can expect the most generous discounts.
Ooh. Can't get these yet. Ooh. Oh, but it's 42. I don't have 42. Only makes sense to get to level 1, because anything above that does us no good. Yeah, let's do it. Take care, man. I hope you get feeling better, dude. Yeah, we're good with that. 6,000. Sheesh. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Cost a lot more than I wanted it to.
Do not obstruct servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is
The
tantamount to
divine
sacrilege.
watches over us.
Do
each
not obstruct.
step,
Lord
I
Captain,
forge my
I am pleased to
destiny
report
among
that the inspections
stars.
have been completed and all identified system failures have been resolved. The void ship is ready to depart Footfall. The crew is waiting for your further instructions, and there are also a number of issues that need to be addressed.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Alright, well. Interesting. Let's see here. What was the other thing? Grenade and stimulants. Those are actually potent. Wow. I'm glad we got those. Hey, hey, hey. Dog's moving around. That's what I was looking for. No. I thought it was better. Oh, it has a rate of fire. That's the difference. So it's fast. Wheel.
World of Rykat Minories falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith.
A well-groomed young man calls out to you. He is clean-shaven and dressed in clothes that are expensive but unshowy, with a bright aquila embroidered in a prominent spot.
Noble sir, a minute of your time, if you please. I am Bastion Indirama Bastal Corda, youngest cousin of House Corda, envoy of Incendia Bastal Corda, rogue trader of the Coronis Expanse by the grace of the Most Holy Emperor. And you must be an envoy of Theodora von Valancius. I noticed that you arrived on the esteemed lady's ship. Corda, they are some of the most influential rogue traders in the Coronis Expanse. But not on Footfall. This station is under the control of House Winterscale. Something tells me that we are about to hear a most curious offer.
Says Abelard under his breath so that only you can hear him.
Yes, I am Theodora's envoy. What is it you wish to speak on?
Splendid. It's a pleasure to be speaking with an equal. Truth be told, I get a little flustered in the presence of the powers that be.
Bastian smiles meekly.
What is it you wish to speak about?
A matter of the utmost delicacy. You see, you've been to the residence of the Leech. Viladaim almost certainly appealed to you for assistance in the arrangement of shipments to Footfall. The Von Valancius Protectorate is famed for the abundance of its main agri-world, Janus. It would be odd for him not to seize on such an opportunity when Footfall is on the verge of famine. However, the Korda dynasty pursues its own interests on Footfall. We have already announced our terms to the Liege, but he is stalling, I imagine, in hopes of getting a better offer from you. The Korda dynasty believes
Bastian smiles and gives a slight shrug.
that cooperation would be preferable for both rogue trader houses. If you refuse Viladame, thereby forcing him to agree to a deal with us, the Korda dynasty can promise you a share of the profits from the future contract, as well as certain other perquisites. Everybody benefits.
The Emperor's most loyal servants should be more concerned with carrying his will through the stars and less with divvying up profit among themselves.
Argentus says disapprovingly, but quietly enough so as not to interrupt the negotiations.
Especially when the well-being of one of the Imperium's worlds is at stake, even one such as Footfall. Behind your smile, Master Bastion, teal shadows swirl. Others may not see them, but your worry cannot escape my eye. What are you afraid of? Your house's wrath should these negotiations prove fruitless? Or the wrath of House von Valancius?
Idira, who was yawning in boredom a moment ago, flinches and clutches her face, her fingernails digging into her skin.
They're coming. Again. Brothers of the ones who came before. I just don't get it. Do they all have a death wish?
Thanks for the warning, Adira.
What?
Bastian stares at you in surprise, then turns around.
Death to Offworlders. The Enver rule Footfall.
I'll get help.
I will cast you
Yes,
into
you'll get help by
eternal
running
darkness.
away.
I'll bleed you dry!
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
I'll help. Bye. It's not how you help.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site. Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege. News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall. Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege. By order of the Liege, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
Explorers know one route. Forward. The scriptural prognosis is favorably on the sire. Condemns you.
By order of the Liege, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime. By the Liege's special decree, citizens permitted to brew rotgut for personal consumption.
Running binaric override.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall. By order of the Liege, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
Request approved.
Oops. Other way around. Oh well.
By the Liege's special decree, citizens permitted to brew rotgut for personal consumption.
The omniscient
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
Here we go.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
Do not dare ask. If I may.
Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty.
If
Damaging
only
holy
that were
messengers of the
possible.
Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
World of Reichad Minoris falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall's Trojan mission accepts donations.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered
Not
around.
sure why it's having troubles reaching everything, but so be it.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site. World of Reichad Minoris falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith.
Well, that was a mistake.
Footfall's Trojan mission accepts donations.
Doubt is for the weak.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's
The
fringes.
enemies of the Emperor
No danger
will
detected
be
in space around
undone.
Footfall.
Not exactly what I intended.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
Follow my lead.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
Indeed.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
I will do my duty.
Let's get to it.
Oh, great. Sniper.
Pain and duty go
Ooh.
hand in hand.
Ow.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
But of course.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
Was that you?
Can't do
Or-
that.
By order of the
10,
Leech, renovation of air
5.
filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
Not this Grayer's job.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space
No
around
can do.
Footfall.
I'd already done that, I thought. Apparently not.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
I'm not so sure.
Let's make it quick.
What is the reason?
Ew. I want to know
Southern
how that
Shadow
guy
Quarters
shot through the
quarantined on
statue.
suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
Brace
Yeah.
yourself, Abelard.
God Emperor, move through
By the
me.
Legis special
Be
decree,
the fire in
citizens
my
permitted
heart.
to brew vodka for personal consumption.
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Faith without deeds is worthless. Guided by
Southern
faith.
Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
I'll do it. Strike is a prayer.
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed
Oh,
on
this
asteroid
provides
Dwayne
no
Prime.
armor. Cover. Even though it's massive.
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
Actions will speak louder
Southern
than
Shadow
words.
Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site. World of Reich falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall's Trojan mission accepts donations.
Snipe him. Oh, I still have one.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around
And
Footfall.
so shall it be done.
Missed. Man.
Time to slaughter someone.
By order of the Leech,
Unimaginative.
renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
Show me what you've got.
Hold on to it.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
Advancing.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
Function successfully terminated.
Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
Running binary override.
Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege. News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew rotgut for personal consumption.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I'm afraid not.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
I will not be deterred.
Nice.
Rejoice in service.
World of Reich falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith.
Please hit.
Footfall's Trojan mission accepts donations.
Let my fury
Nope.
rain down upon thee.
Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
No!
Let's make it quick!
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime. By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted
That
to
is
brew
not
vodka
my
for personal
destiny.
consumption.
Anything else? Will do.
Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
Anything else?
Here we go.
What an unfortunate turn of
Damn.
fate.
World of Right
Beautiful.
Adminories falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith.
Out my way!
Footfall Sturgeon
Here
mission
we
accepts
go.
donations.
Scared yet?
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
Doubt is for the weak.
World of Reich Adminories falls victim to dark powers.
I'll do it.
Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall Sturgeon mission accepts donations. By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
As the Emperor commands.
No,
act.
I didn't mean to click that.
High momentum.
World of Reich Adminories falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall Sturgeon mission accepts donations.
Rejoice in
Do not
battle.
obstruct servoskulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption. Do not obstruct servoskulls on duty.
So shall it
Damaging
be. Let
holy
this be
messengers
a
of the
warning
Adeptus
to
Mechanicus
all
is
Well, there you
tantamount
go.
to sacrilege. World of Reich Adminories falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall Sturgeon mission accepts donations.
Actions will speak louder than words.
Cool.
Let's get to it.
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
Activate calculated fury.
By the Legis special decree, citizens permitted to brew vodka for personal consumption.
Cogitation fails.
By the Legious special decree, citizens permitted to brew rotgut for personal consumption.
That is foolishness. If I may?
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site. World of Rykat Minories falls victim to dark powers.
Servitor.
Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall Sturgeon mission accepts donations.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
Doubt is for the
Yeah,
weak.
reload.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
Cool.
Do not obstruct servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
At your beck and call.
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid D Wayne Prime.
Hold on.
No, we got in cover.
Let's get to it.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
I know what is to come. Was that you? Or...
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
But of course.
News of terrible
Anything
Xenos
else?
raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
Let's make it quick.
That was odd. Odd. You ran away, came back, ran away, came back.
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid D Wayne Prime.
battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will
God
be
Emperor,
executed on
move
site.
through me. Be the fire in my heart. That is not the Emperor's will. Faith without deeds is worthless.
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid D Wayne Prime.
Rejoice in service.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on
What's the
suspicion of
range?
Stone
12
Plague outbreak.
cells. That's definitely
Quarantine
12
breakers will be
cells.
executed on site. News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
Oh,
I won't suffer this.
Do not obstruct servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
I'm here, maggot.
By order of the Leech, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid D Wayne Prime. Do not obstruct servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
Oh. Just saw. No.
Southern
not what I
Shadow
wanted.
Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
By the Liege's special decree, citizens permitted to brew rotgut for personal consumption.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
By order of the Liege, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
I'm afraid not.
World of
This
Light
is beyond
Adminories
me.
falls victim to dark powers.
I can't allow
Remember its
myself
demise
to
and
do
strengthen your
this.
faith. Footfall Sturgeon mission accepts donations.
The Emperor commands.
Do not
I will
obstruct
not
servo
be
skulls on duty.
deterred.
Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege. By order of the
Tried
Liege,
and tested
renovation of
tactics
air
are the best
filtration
ones.
system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
Southern Shadow Quarters
It will be
quarantined
done.
on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site.
Here we go.
Ow.
Do not obstruct servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
On it.
News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall.
Was that you? Or
World
Not
of Reich
this
Adminories
Scryer's
falls victim
job.
to dark powers.
no can
Remember
do.
its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall Sturgeon
Will
mission
do.
accepts donations.
Guided by
World of
faith.
Reich Adminories falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall Sturgeon mission accepts donations.
I'll do it. Power resides in the
News
will
of
of the
terrible Xenos
righteous.
raids arriving from sector's fringes.
Doubt
No
is for the
danger
weak.
detected in space around Footfall.
This is unacceptable. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Just can't hit.
I'll do
News
it.
of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes.
I refuse.
No danger detected in space around Footfall.
I will not.
That hits.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Southern Shadow Quarters quarantined on suspicion of Stone Plague outbreak. Quarantine breakers will be executed on site. By order of the Liege, renovation of air filtration system completed on asteroid Dwayne Prime.
And so shall it be done. Rejoice in service. I won't suffer this. This
Do
is
not
beyond
obstruct
me.
servo skulls on duty.
Let's
Damaging
get
holy
to it.
messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to
Show me
sacrilege.
what you've got. yet?
World of Reichad Minories falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall's
Chicken!
Trojan mission accepts.
Chicken!
The best attraction on Footfall caged live Xenos. News of terrible Xenos raids arriving from sector's fringes. No danger detected in space around Footfall. Looking is free. And for just a couple of points, you can take it out on the wicked beasts. Hordros is the warrior, the Emperor's chosen. We offer our prayers.
Chain axe.
By the Legion's special decree, citizens permitted to brew rotgut for personal consumption.
Xenobius unknownus. Behavior, cruelty, trickery, rampant mating. Habitat, void,
Let
doesn't
us
need
walk
air.
this path
Diet,
to the
rocks.
end.
Fears, the Emperor,
This
fire.
explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
That's right. My whole family's here. I guess we'll have a look around, see if we can find a spot for ourselves. Do not obstruct servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
A soldier would have been disciplined for such a performance.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Ooh. That's nice.
The numerous wounds and injuries indicate that this was a particularly brutal murder. The letters ANV are carved into the victim's shoulder blade. The numerous wounds and injuries indicate that this was a particularly brutal murder. The letters ANV are carved into the victim's shoulder blade.
That's messed up.
I've already
The
had 2
divine
emergency work
watch
orders
is
come
over
through,
us.
one after the other. If I'm alive by the end of them, I'll count myself lucky. Stop. Lothon was a brainless coward, and he died a coward. Let's not talk about him. They stayed and waited for every shuttle. Every last one. They left no one behind. And that's how you made it off the planet. The Vox spirits have brought me good tidings. The miraculous fusion reactor, a sacred artifact, has been delivered to the system with an escort of electro priests. The Emperor protects.
What are you doing in Footfall?
What am I doing in this den of blasphemers, pagans, and the vilest of souls, you mean to say? Well, Footfall is the first and last stop in the Coronis expanse. It is the point of arrival for those who have just started on their path, and it is also where those who are reaching its very end return, their souls wounded and bleeding. I embrace both the former and the latter, so that they may cast an honest eye over their impurity. Furthermore, rumors from across the entire sector amass on Footfall. If I hear crewmen whispering about a reclaimed shrine world or expressing desire to carry the Emperor's light into the darkness among the stars, I help my flock in their sacred duty. Devoted trailblazers need assistance, both spiritual and material, tools, equipment, even garments, and simple everyday items. Anything that might help pilgrims on their long journey and during the first days of the harsh frontier life is worth its weight in gold to us. May any help you offer to the effort of gathering such things be blessed. The path of true believers leads into darkness, to search for worlds that have lost his radiance, steeped in depravity. Blessed are the deeds of those who give themselves into the void and the warp in hopes that their actions might bring light into the darker reaches of the expanse and deliver a previously barren world into the Imperium's service.
Hieronymus is silent for a few seconds.
And all the more bitter is the realization that not all brave souls will succeed in their mission. Footfall still awaits news from the Wasteland Wayfarer, an ancient ark of a ship headed for distant stars. Her last astropathic message was sent from beyond the Cinerus Maleficum, and the stars have kept her fate secret since. I bear another, darker duty. The expanse is filled with the tainted creations of unholy heretics. These insidious objects are a danger to the soul, but I know what to do with them. Should you on your travels come upon dangerous, corrupted objects, bring them to me, and the reward for your vigilance will be even more generous. The Drusian mission has much to share with the rogue trader.
I'd like to see what you have to trade, if you do not mind.
Let me see.
Ooh. Wow. So many good things and I can't use them all. Oh, wow. So much, dude. So much. How to pick. How to pick. There's so much. Is that one of them? No. There's a lot of really good ones, though. Big yawns. I will be right back. I gotta quickly step away for just a minute, and we'll continue on in just a moment.
I will pray for the rogue trader to receive a revelation from the Omni-Psi that will let him find a place becoming of the great machine's mighty energies. Do not obstruct servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege. Hey, you do know what happened to Lothon, right? After he was taken aboard? Didn't he rip his own eyes?
Didn't we already go to the warehouse here?
Servo skulls on duty. Damaging holy messengers of the Adeptus Mechanicus is tantamount to sacrilege.
I'm
pretty sure we did.
The Vox spirits have brought me good tidings. The miraculous fusion reactor, a sacred artifact, has been delivered to the system with an escort of electro priests.
I need drink. No spill my drink. Not coffee, but still good. Liquid is important. Okay. Yeah, we already been here. Come on.
For Drusus the warrior, the Emperor's chosen, we offer our prayers. They stayed and waited for every shuttle. Every last one.
With each
They left
step,
no one behind.
I fought.
That's right. My whole family's here. I guess we'll have a look around, see if we can find a spot for ourselves.
He said there was a bar somewhere. Or a place to get drinks and other goods.
They say the Emperor sent his angels here, and they used their swords to carve this majestic statue from an asteroid. Come and buy goods from the best Recaliger crews in the sector.
We are bound by the blood
They
of
say the Emperor
martyrs.
sent his angels here, and they used their swords to carve this majestic statue from an asteroid. May the Emperor and Drusus the warrior guide my feet. They say the Emperor sent his angels here, and they used their swords to carve this majestic statue from an asteroid.
A small altar. The central spot has been given to Drusus, a saint from the neighboring Calixis sector who is widely revered in the Coronus Expanse. Life of Saint Drusus, Volume 3.
They say the Emperor sent his angels here, and they used their swords to carve this majestic statue from an
watches
asteroid.
over us.
The walls of the container have rusted and its contents rotted away. A situation that is not uncommon for shipments trying to pass through Imperial customs.
May the Emperor and Drusus the warrior guide my feet.
Finest wines from Janus.
May the Emperor and Drusus the warrior guide my feet.
Let us walk this path to the end.
May the Emperor Androsus the warrior guide my feet.
Hangar 1. Hangar 1.
May the Emperor Androsus the warrior guide my feet. They say one of the asteroids tore free from its tethers. You have to keep your wits about you round here. May the Emperor Androsus the warrior.
The refugees from Kayavagama are looking at you, some with apprehensive frowns, some with unconcealed gratitude.
Death. No, no. You are hurling accusations at your masters, a sign of treason, and you must be punished accordingly. Do you realize this?
One by one, the refugees fall to their knees.
Please, have mercy. A few idiots shouted some things, that's all. We shut them up ourselves already. It was their grief and fear talking. Please don't punish the rest of us for it.
Pasquale's voice sounds impassive and cold.
Vituperation directed at the Adeptus Mechanicus was likewise registered. Denial is meaningless.
Very well, you may be pardoned, but you must serve the dynasty properly.
Their eyes beam.
Praise be to the Emperor. We're saved and pardoned. We'll do as we're told, we won't say another word.
Bowing hastily, the refugees back away from you.
May the Emperor Androsus the warrior guide my feet.
No!
May the Emperor Androsus the warrior guide my feet.
A familiar figure turns to you. Heinrich van Kalax, interrogator of the Ordo Xenos, bows his head respectfully.
Lord Captain. Honored interrogator, what a surprise. Did you, perchance, leave something in your cabin? Not at all, First Officer Verserian. I'm not in the habit of leaving a trail. But I thank you for your concern.
I'm pleased to see you again, Heinrichs.
Heinrichs allows himself a hint of a smile.
I'm glad to hear that my presence aboard your ship did not leave you with any unpleasant memories. I hope your disposition won't change once I have explained the reason for my visit. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that transpired on Rykat Minoris. I also received some information from my agents regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we're assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds. This time yours, Lord Captain.
Heinrichs clears his throat and begins in a pointedly official tone.
By the order of Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over the Coronis Expanse, the rogue trader of House von Valancius is to take on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and support in deeds great and small that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and remains in effect until decided otherwise by His Excellency Calcazar.
Edira's whisper is barely audible.
All I got from it is that ridding ourselves of this snitch won't be easy.
And what exactly caused this need to rejoin?
The cause is the activity of humanity's enemies, including the cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in the Coronis Expanse has changed. I have received an exhaustive report from my agents. This heresy has taken root in the region where the von Valancius worlds lie. You probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Kiavagama. If not, then I will share what details I know, but not here. Better to talk on board, where we will not be overheard.
Citizens, remember that breathable air is a privilege reserved for the most pious and industrious servants of the Imperium. Toil with zeal and vigor, and your efforts will be rewarded with blessed air forces.
I, the rogue trader, will assist the agent of the Golden Throne as they fight against the evils that threatened humanity.
Heinrichs gives a reserved nod.
An answer befitting a righteous servant of the Emperor.
If duty has brought you aboard the rogue trader's ship once more, then such is the Emperor's will. Welcome back.
Thank you, sister. It is an honor to be traveling with one of the blessed Adeptus Sororitas.
Master Van Calix.
Cassia's voice is brimming with genuine joy, which she immediately hides behind a facade of highborn primness.
Since you are with us once more, I do hope you will find time to finish our conversation about the literary works of Kronhaller the Blessed.
I will make every effort, Lady Orselio. I must also deliver this to you.
Heinrichs pulls out a sealed letter.
The Lord Inquisitor specified that the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have the time. That is everything for the time being. Are you headed to the ship? Or do you still have business on Footfall? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as part of your retinue.
We need psi rating. We already have psi rating 1. Not sure why it didn't work. Whoops. Interesting.
With each step,
They say the
I
Emperor sent his
forge my
angels here,
destiny
and they
among
used
the
their swords to
stars.
carve this majestic statue from an asteroid.
Check the void ship and then we'll go check the shadow sector.
Look, it settled on its own. That's never happened before. I'll be damned.
May thine holy connections be guarded against the evils of entropy. We haven't had journeys like the